Hello my friends, Natasha with Natasha'Scrapbookorner, and today I'm coming to you with the finished project, which is a signature for a black lace book for my wonderful crafty sister Diana, who is a Spare Marbles 2012 here on YouTube. Hi Diane! So for her upcoming birthday, which is in March, Diana announced a challenge, and she wants to put together a black lace book, which is really unique and really interesting idea, and she already received several beautiful entries. So it should be pure black, no white. I know, just mind that. I know I am always pushing the limits. So I actually had something else in mind, and I will do that something else for someone else. So Diana, you signed your own contract there, so don't scream at me later when you're gonna see the other page. So basically it should be 8 by 8 page, but she wants to add an inch on the side for binding. She's gonna book bind it, and it should be double layered. I'm sorry, double-sided fabric page. So I started with a piece of felt. Unfortunately, I didn't have black one, so I used the brown one, which is, I guess, okay. Then I actually went and shopped at NSK. Yeah, I pulled a couple items out of store because I do not have a big stash, although I love black. I do not have a big stash of black, pure black items. So and out of the NSK, I pulled out this tool, which is comes as a fabric piece, and it has like goldish print on it. So I used that. I used this gorgeous mask, which you barely can see, and we have it in black, and in white you're probably gonna see better the print. Yeah, so as well as this lace right there. Let me show you in white, because it's much better to see in white. So this gorgeous lace. So those, I do believe, that's it. The rest is my personal stash. So what I did, I wrapped the felt with my fabric, and surprisingly to me, the fabric tack, I really do not like fabric tack, went through, and there were white blobs of white glue. So I didn't have anything else to work with, so I started to cover that up. So it cover-up operation. I found, because I was looking for something else to create for Diana, but then when I started to work, there was a lot of white in my idea that I wanted to make, and I kind of backed off of it. So I pulled a bunch of images of the Pinterest with the masks and stuff, and I printed them out on a fabric paper. So those are that left, and I used 2 others. And I just started to layer things. So in here in the corner you see the image of the lady in mask right there, and right here you see that layer of that gorgeous NSK lace. Here's the one that I showed you in white and black. Really pretty. It's so delicate, so it was really calling the name for it. So underneath you see right here, I used this Celebrated Looks ribbon. I guess it's from Michaels. And on top, that was layer that I cut off the lace that has been sold for a while ago at Michaels and Joann's, and it's wide. It's wide like that, and it has those holes that you can gather. So what I did, I fuzzy cut along the lines of the print, and the rest of the tulle I put in here as of kind of mask covers the face, if you see it in here. Then I had this cotton trim. I took it apart from something and I cannot think what it was, so I had like several pieces of that laying in my scraps, so I used that along this corner and the top one, because the edge, it has a really nice edge. So that's that. And to decorate the border, the side of the page, I used the rosette trim that was gifted to me by someone, and I cut 2 rows and I folded, you know, I adhere this row on that side and it falls onto another side, so it creates this really good, you know, hidden edge, so I cannot see any stitching or anything like that. And on the side in here I used the same trim, this one, and one side is you know, roughly like that, and another is straight, which is on another side. The idea of mask, flowing mask, was kind of what I was going for. I really wanted the other project be 3-dimensional, so I wanted to have at least a 3-dimensional effect for this one as well. So I kind of flowed the mask and flowed the lace around the page, and it's actually really nice color difference. I'm really happy that I used the brown felt underneath, because although it's when it's covered with the fabric, it goes as black, but it's not as deep black, which makes the other black elements to pop up. You can tell, right? I can see that in the camera, because this background is very settled and the rest of the elements are just popping. And on the bottom I used the vintage trim that I picked up somewhere on the line, and that's the piece I had, and that's it. So Diana, you're lucky girl. So I just gathered that whatever I had, the cut, I gathered it, and I kind of created that tulle kind of effect, gathered effect on top, and I put some dangly glass trim on top, and I picked up this particular yarn for knitting scarves and etc. at Walmart. I've been recently too. So that's that page, and I'm really pleased how it came out. And although it's a lot of work designing and stuff, I'm loving it, and I'm already jealous of that book that Diana gonna have eventually. So maybe somewhere on the line I will steal that challenge, because I would love to have a lace book like that. So let's go on another side, and that's another side, and the image is a bodice and hands of ballerina. So zoom out. That's how page look on its own, and you see that roughly gathered trim on top. So now I can probably zoom in for you. So that's that trim gathered, and I covered with the plastics rhinestone trim, because when you gather that the glue comes through, so it needs to be covered. The oh, there is another piece from NSK, that's this dangle lace. So it's easier to show you in color. That's this. So I snipped 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces per se, like that. So and they look really nice. So, and it gives that dimension and movement to the page, because when you are displaying it, it moves. Then I had some appliques that I was gathering together for this project. So I have this flower placed in here, and on the edge you see that end of this top lace wrapping around, and I covered that with this one row of that rosette trim to make it look finished. And again, I will stress your attention. You see that brownish background, but it's kind of black. So that's really great find. You know, to be able to see all the elements. So going down, I framed the top corner of the image with the cutouts of rosettes, and the edges of the picture I used Artie's One Little Dreamer applique trim, pearlized applique trim, and it's actually one piece, but it was cut out on along the print. And first, before I cut it out, of course, I secured all the beads from the back, and that's the end that's supposed to be in here, basically. So that went on that side, and there is a section in between larger elements, which always reminds me of reindeers. So I cut that element and the face of reindeer per se, the bottom part, I tucked it in here, and the horns went right in here, and they look like they are leaves. So you have one branch and another branch. So this applique rosette has 3 leaves in here, but the upper leaves would not fit on the page, so I trimmed them out and used them on the bottom right here. So, and I secured it with the one of the rosettes. And on the bottom I used the scrap of that trim. It was wider, which I cut in half, and here it is. I used it as kind of like a pocket, but I wanted to cover and kind of blend the image into the page nicely, and that's how I decided to do it. And on the bottom I used again the row of the cotton trim that covers the edge, and the gathered lace from the opposite side looks really nice and gives a very finished look, so I didn't have to do really nothing to it. So there is my entry into Diana's challenge. So I hope she likes it. I guess that's it. Stay tuned for the pictures. Thanks so much for all your comments,